It's episode 51, dude. It's episode 51. 51, bro. It's episode 51. Sometimes, I don't know, man. Sometimes, like when I'm driving, right? Sometimes when I'm driving, I sometimes think about the roads. And I'm like, how come there's not a documentary on the people who built the roads? Because, like, if you think about it, some dude had to tell another dude, like, hey, you're going to start from California, all right? And you're going to pave a road from California to New York. I want a documentary on all of the marriages that were ruined because of the construction of the roads, all right? Think about it. Think about it. What's up, everyone? It's episode 51 of the You Might Be Surprised podcast. Woo, baby! I'm on some other shit right now, boys and girls, and grandma. What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing, man? It's Friday night, and I'm popping off, dude, now. However, okay, I'm gonna do something that I never do. I had to recenter myself because I wasn't centered, and it was gonna bother me when I'm looking at the lens and I see that I'm not centered within the lines, dude. It was gonna bother me, so I fixed it on y'all. Now, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. How's everyone doing, man? What's up? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the podcast. If you don't follow me on socials, you should follow me. Links are on the screen and down below. And yeah, man, it's a comedy podcast, solo comedy podcast, hosted by a random dude in Wisconsin. And let me get this out of the way. I'm so sick and tired, dude, of Wisconsin. All right? It's like I figured it out. I figured out why I'm so sick and tired of Wisconsin. Is because the Midwest in general, I don't know where my phone, the Midwest in general, I don't need my phone, it's a podcast. All right. The Midwest in general is just so slow. And what I mean by that is, like, everyone, like, no one does things in a hurry, right? They're all on their own time, especially in Wisconsin. They're like, oh, especially driving. People in Wisconsin suck at driving. They're absolutely terrible. They either go 30 miles below the speed limit or they go 79 miles above the speed limit. There's no in between. And then if they're going too slow, you're cussing at them, you're flipping them off, and then if they're going too fast, then you go fast because you want to stay with the flow of traffic, and then your whole time you're driving, you're like, dude, cops, right? And also just like people in Wisconsin, they take their time. There's no hustle, right? Like you hear people talk about like the hustle, like when they move into a city like New York, dude, it's the hustle. Everyone goes there. They're like, okay, we'll like next. No one gives a fuck about you. The only people that care are your friends and family, and that's it. And everyone's doing their own thing. In the Midwest, it's even like that, but it's like worse, if that makes sense. It's like not only do people not give a fuck about you, but they don't give a fuck about themselves. Does that make sense? It's just it's annoying, man. It's annoying. I took last week off from the podcast because, well, yeah, you guys won't even notice, but just life, man. Just life. I got burnt out, and I was like, do I want to put on a podcast? It sucks. No. Next, and now I'm here, and I'm loving it. But I did something last week. This can also shit on Wisconsin, dude. If my mic falls one more time, it's like I don't know why it's doing it. Well, one other thing that I can shit on about Wisconsin here is so last week I'm currently in the midst of moving, and I had a bunch of shit, dude. I had a bunch of shit that I just need to get rid of, like game consoles from when I was young, like PlayStation 1s, a PS2, an Xbox 360. a bunch of fucking games, and I was like, I need to get rid of this stuff, and I was honestly just gonna like dump it on the side of the road because I mean the Xbox 360, that's a little bit like of like I can't believe you're about to throw that away. Like you could still play that, but like the other stuff, I was like, I don't fucking need that shit. Like what? I don't need it. And then my dad was like, hey, you should like take it to this place and sell it. And I'm like, okay. Thinking it was going to be just like a place that would just take it, dude. Oh my God, dude. Hey, there shouldn't be shops full of shit. There shouldn't be shops full of shit. That's one thing too. Dude, now that I think about it, that's another thing that pisses me off about the Midwest is everyone has too much shit. You know, like when you go to like New York, everyone just lives with what they need, right? They live in these small little 400 square feet apartments and they got what they need and they're happy, right? In the Midwest, you have too much shit, right? Everywhere you go, there's people saying rummage sales. And then you go there, and it's like they're trying to sell the plastic fork that they used on their dinner last night. They're like, that fork used $3. And you're like, what? You don't have anything better to do? Just throw the damn thing away. And, bro. So I go to this shit shop, right? And it's an electronic shit shop, which I think is almost as bad as like any other shit shop, right? Some people might call them antique stores. Hey, you're selling shit, right? It's only in the Midwest too. If you go to an antique store in California, dude, you're just getting Gucci, okay? In the Midwest, they sell you the stuff that they don't need. So I go into this whatever the fuck it is. It's like a game shop. It's called like We Buy Shit or something like that. I don't know what it's called. I don't care. They gave me $300 for all my shit, so I'm happy. However, when I go in there, right, and you just go in there and you see the room is just full of DVDs, and then you look at the guy and you're like, oh, bro, I feel bad. Because this is how you're making a living. And I feel bad. Now, did the sun just shine into the window and make my face extra bright? It did. Will I have to fix that in post? Probably. Son, get the fuck out of here. And yeah, man, I go to this place and just DVDs everywhere. Old game consoles everywhere. You go in there and it's just like, hold on. I'm gonna fix this. You just go in there, right, into the shit shop, and there's always that old guy that just never left his like gaming phase, right? Just never left. He's in there buying like $500 worth of Pokemon games, and you're like, what? Like, do you not have anything better to do? Like, I get it, it's your hobby, but like nothing. Right? Nothing? And like it smelled in there. Like think of like an old smelly place. It smelled like that. And I was like, man. And the guy took his job way too seriously. Checked everything. Literally everything. He shook the controller and he was like, I don't think it's going to work. I'm like, what do you mean? It worked like 3 years ago. And he's like, watch this. He plugs it in and he starts to play around with it. And the guy's not moving on the screen. And he's like, he's playing the game. He's like, nothing's happening. I'm like, dude, you're a damn wizard. So yeah, I spent my week just selling shit, making money that way. And it blows my mind with these shit stores and the Midwest. I need to get out of the Midwest. It needs to happen, man. It needs to happen. Too many. I think the reason why is there's too many old people. There's too many old people, and not in the sense that like a 30-year-old is old, because that's what I'm referring to. Is like the Midwest is like old money. Hear me out. Because it's like it's like you can't, like, everyone's just old. Like, you go there to raise a family, right? Like, you're not out there grinding. Like, you're not around other like-minded people. And if you are, like, the people my age, like, the only thing they care about is, like, starting a family, getting pregnant right out of college, and then breaking up with the guy, and now you're stuck with this kid. Or, like, that's what the Midwest is for. Like, the Midwest is for beer, falling in love with your high school sweetheart, having a kid, and then breaking up with your high school sweetheart. And it's like what? It's like, what? Hello? There's more to life than that. I guess, especially when we're this young. Maybe that's just me. You know, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want kids, right? But like, I'm 24. I'm trying to make something of my life. You know? How old are you guys? That's the real question. Like, what? Like, I could be speaking. What happens if my audience was only 75-year-olds and they're just like, well, I can't believe he's calling me old. I can't believe this young 24-year-old who has no idea what life is even about is sitting here telling us that the Midwest sucks. Well, first of all, I live in the Midwest. I have a house. I drive a truck. My kids are in college. I have a nice job. I come home every night. I make dinner, the same 3 things, and then I turn on The Wire. And I sit there, and I prop up my feet, and I watch 3 episodes every night. It's the same 3 episodes. Why? Because there's no other better show than The Wire. And after I eat my food and watch my 3 shows, I go in and I take a bath and I decompress. I call my kids, ask them how their day was, and then I go to bed and repeat. I can't believe this 24-year-old fucking guy is saying I have a shitty life. It's exactly what I'm saying, guy. I just want to do shit, right? I just want to do shit. Speaking of old people, right? Now, if anyone's over the age of 27, that's listening, you might not relate. But if you're under the age of 27, you might remember when you were in high school and college even, like your mom and dad would sit you down. They'd be like, okay, listen, we know you're going to want to get fucked up. And in the back of your head, and like to them, you're like shaking your head, no. I would never want to do that. And in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, me and my friends are going to down a whole bottle of vodka this weekend, right? And your mom and dad would always say, hey, now listen, social media is a thing, and you can't have photos with you with alcohol or red Solo cups. Colleges will see that. They'll pull your scholarship. Jobs will see that. They'll pull that. And the next thing you know, you're going to be working a 9-to-5 job with a kid that you don't want, with a wife that you hate, all because you drank and posted some wild shit on social media. And that shit scared me. Even though that's what half the people my age are doing. And that shit scared me. I was like, damn. I should, like, not be myself. Right? I should just, should not be myself. But Mom, I get fucked up every weekend. You can't change who I am. I hate my hometown, but I love my friends. And now, dude, who would have ever saw this bullshit coming? Right? And now that means absolutely nothing, because there's kids on TikTok. There's people on TikTok who are younger than me, who are talking about who have millions of followers talking about how they get fucked up and rub coke on their teeth and make out with people. There's girls shaking their ass and making sex terms with millions of followers getting paid for it. Drinking and partying is like the new normal. Why? Because everyone has social media and everyone knows that they do it. Everyone on Facebook is posting their photos of them getting fucked up. Jobs don't give a fuck. And I'm just confused. Like, I bet, like, I just want to go up to my parents and be like, you're wrong. You're wrong. You know? Fuck. Becky on TikTok, mom, has millions of dollars because she shakes her ass. And Brad is a fucking star because he has chiseled abs, drinks mojitos every weekend, and tells TikTok how he feels. Oh, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. Take a shot for every single time my mic falls. I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. The guys on TikTok really make no sense to me. Or maybe I should say girls make no sense to me because of the guys that they follow on TikTok. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you're a guy, you already know that girls make no sense. They make no sense at all. You know, you could be talking to a girl and thinking that you're in the talking phase before the freaking dating phase. And then she'll be like, we're best friends, and friend zone you. Or you'll be talking and trying to get to know someone, and then the girl will tell you, hey, you're just too nice. Like, stop being a nice guy. I want a bad boy. Right? Also, what the fuck counts as a bad boy nowadays? Like, a bad boy used to be a guy who had a Harley jacket and rode a Harley and smoked cigarettes and drank craft beer. All right? Now, a bad boy is just some fucking dude who licks their lips on TikTok and Instagram and has their arm up here. They're like, hey, babe, I see you staring at me. By the way, this is happening in fucking Walmart, right? So there's just a guy, girl staring at the girl staring at the guy at Walmart. He notices immediately, puts his arm above his head, looks her dead in the eyes, and just starts fucking. Hey, girl. Dude, by the time that they realize that they have chemistry and start making out, the dude's lips are going to be drier than the Sahara Desert because of how much they lick their damn lips. Right? I want to know where the lip, like, I can't even do it right. Like, I've tried. Like, I've looked at myself dead in the mirror. And I was like, how do I make myself look sexy like these fucking guys on TikTok? This is what the girls want. I look at myself directly in the mirror. I'm like, now I'm looking at myself. I'm like, this isn't how the guys on TikTok look. Dude, if I tried to do that to a girl, I would have the police called on me so fast. 911, what's your emergency? We have a girl on the other line just screaming, there's this guy at Walmart and he's looking at me with his hand up above his head, and he just keeps licking his lips. He just keeps licking his lips. I think he wants to murder me and eat me. I'm not for sure, but I think this is what's happening. Oh, man. Dude, this is why I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, is because I can't lick my lips. Man. And, like, the crazy thing about it is now the sun's down. Now I look too dark. The crazy thing about it, too, is, like, you know, whenever I become a CEO of a company or do whatever the fuck I'm going to do in life, I'm going to have to hire somebody. And then I'm going to have to judge them based on how many followers and what type of trends they can do, right? I'll be at a job. It's just I'm trying to hire some guy to just clean the bathrooms, right? And I'm just sitting here. Next! The guy sits down. His name's Terry. Terry, hey man, how's it going? Glad you can make it here. Now, I'm really just trying to find somebody who can clean the bathrooms after 5 p.m. Is that something you can do? He's just sitting there just like licking his lips, looking at me. I'm like, oh, great. I see you can lick your lips and look sexual constantly, honestly. Perfect. There's a bunch of girls that always walk past here, and I really think they could be huge customers here. So at 5:30, right, if you get this job, I'm going to need you to stand up against the wall and slowly unbutton your shirt and just start to lick your lips. And I check that off. And then I look, and I'm like, well, you look kind of strong, and you look like this should be a simple job. And I'm like, are you in high school? He's like, yeah, I'm going to be a senior this year. I'm like, oh, you going to college? He's like, no, man, I'm just, my mom and dad are making me find a job because they think I should work for my money. And little do they know is that I do some TikTok fucking dances, and I get paid millions of dollars. And I'm like, oh, really? Perfect. Do you think you could TikTok dance in here and give me some publicity? And he's like, do I have to work weekends? I'm like, fuck no. He's like, yeah. And I dap him up. I'm like, there should be more people like you. There should be more people like this guy, man. Because the world's heading down a weird path. That's all I gotta say, man. The world's heading down a weird path. How long have I done? 23? I'll talk for 4 more. Make it an even 30. My last podcast was a little short. Yeah, man. I like creating, and I like pushing myself to think on the spot. And that's kind of like what this podcast is. That's why it's called You Might Be Surprised. And honestly, I should have said I'd be surprised, because some of the times I'm really surprised with the stuff that I come up with on the spot. Now, granted, I have things to talk about, but that's why I like it, man. This is like a passion project, right? I am, however, going to start posting more like relatable content on another channel. I will link that down below. I think like the first video I'm gonna post is a review of the Sony A7C. And yeah, man, and I'm just gonna start creating. You know, it's like I there should, like, I think people look at professional online people who create for a living, people who create content, and I think it's overthought a lot. And I think things can be very precise, very professional, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're just putting yourself out there and creating things that you like. And that's just something that I like strive to do, and I would love to make a career for me. And like this comedy thing is just me being funny. and pushing myself creatively because it's such a dark zone for me, and I'm still learning every single time I do a podcast. And I'd like to do more than one a week, but the time doesn't really allow for me. And just know that like this is fun for me. And if you listen and enjoy, I would love for you guys to leave a rating online through Apple Podcasts. If you're watching this, subscribe, like the video. It really does help. And yeah, man, I'm every single time I can sit down and just rant and just do something funny or do something that I don't get to do Monday through Friday, because all I do is just sit at a desk and deal with clients. I enjoy this, man, and I'm going to continue to do it. So thank you guys so much. Join the hype train, dude. We're going to the moon. But honestly, man, think about how many marriages were ruined based on people having to pave the roads when roads just became a thing. I think about that a lot. And I'm like, damn. Jack probably lost the love of his life because he was dead set to pave the most roads and to give the American people a quick way to travel to the United States. Anyways, man, I've been Chris. Y'all have been beautiful. Episode 51 is in the books. It's crazy. I enjoy it. Getting better every single time. Can't wait to do more, and I'll post the other videos that I create. So it would mean a lot if you guys check all that stuff out. So I've been Chris. You've been beautiful. Try something new, you beautiful people. You might be surprised what happens. Peace, guys.